All right, so it is
Cold.
I don't know how cold it is. The ground's frozen, but we kind of slacked on the wood this year. And the shack is kind of getting down there. Okay, so this wood right here is probably like a couple of years old. Last year wasn't as cold. We didn't go through as much wood. So my plan is, while we bring out the new stuff in the wheelbarrow, if we put the new stuff to the left over here where the duggo is, then we can chip away at that older stuff before it's gone. Not before it's gone, but we can chip away at that older stuff before we get to the new stuff. That'll give it a chance to dry out. Now the logs are all really old, years old, but you still have to split them and let them dry out a little bit. And with this cold weather and the wind always blowing, you can see the leaves on the trees blowing, and the opening in the slats here, they will dry out very quickly, believe it or not. So let me move some of this wood over to there. Hopefully I don't knock that stack in the back down. My plan is to go from like here over, but you never know. Maybe I might accidentally knock it down. I hope not. Alright, so I made some room for the new stuff right about the halfway point. So now new stuff's on the left, older stuff's on the right. So we'll chip away at the older stuff for burning, and you know, hopefully the newer stuff will be dried out a little bit. But we haven't seen the back of this shack in a few years. What, I would say, what, 2 years?
Yeah, probably.
So we're burning a lot of wood this year. Or we just slacked on replenishing this year.
I think we're burning more this year.
I think so too. It's cold out. Yeah, so whenever you stack wood, if you don't have a shack, your top layer, you're gonna want the bark facing up. So it would basically look like this across the top. Now, because we have a shack, we don't really have to worry about it. But if you are stacking outside, you have to worry about like it raining on it and the wood soaking it up. So it helps if you put the bark up. Let's move on to splitting some wood.
The jump trailer is cool, but it's honestly just faster to use a wheelbarrow.
Bryson, who normally splits all the wood, a majority of the wood I would say, likes to use the wheelbarrow, and he hand splits the wood and takes breaks in between by running the wheelbarrow loads out to the shack.
That's good for this wheelbarrow. Don't pack this one too much.
All right, which brings me to my next question.
Yeah?
Is hand splitting faster than log splitter?
Absolutely.
He says absolutely. Let's find out. So the log splitter that I have, I've had this for many years. It's a Power Horse 20-ton log splitter. I just recently had a little oops where I dropped something on it and bent this table down, but I don't think that's gonna affect us today. I haven't used this in a long time. I had it in the storage box and I pulled it out to use the storage box to store something else, and it has been sitting outside here. Another reason why I plan on building a nice barn, but let's see. Last time I stored it with Stable in it. The fuel, that fuel additive. Let's see if it starts. Okay. On. Gas. Looks like I left the gas on. Alright, let's see. Is this choke? I don't remember which way the choke goes. Come on. maybe. What is up with this pull cord? Alright. Yeah, it's still full. God, I hate the winter. What way is closed? Alright, so that's choke, because it's holding the flap closed. That way, fuel. That is off, on. Huh. This might be a short video. He thinks that the gas log splitter is faster than an axe. Now I will say, it's probably faster than a classical chopping axe, but let me tell you, I'm very biased towards the classical chopping axes. I like the way they look, I like the hickory wood handles, but these Fiskars, they're like polymer plastic handles and heads, and then, or sorry, the heads are metal though, but all around it and everything, it's just thin polymer plastic. These things are durable as hell, and the blades, we leave them out here, they're still sharp. They never dull. The rust comes right off after a couple whacks, so that's not really a problem. It just rubs off. But you don't really have to sharpen them. You know, with the other ones, I'm constantly sharpening it every morning. You know, last winter I was sharpening my axe every morning before I was chopping. But these things, man, let me tell you. Plus, they're really light. You know, they feel good. The balance on them is real nice. But, yeah, I don't think that it would be as fast as one of these when you're using it correctly. But your standard classical chopping axe, yeah, the wood splitter is probably faster than that, especially when you get the stringy stuff. Yeah. This will probably split first go. Yeah, here we go. A little gas, maybe? What's that famous saying? It ran when I parked it. I will say though, the part of grabbing the logs and getting them situated to split, especially since I've done a lousy job at keeping it organized back here, that does take up more time. It's got oil, so the oil safety shut off. Shouldn't be anything wrong with that. I don't know. I'd give it a snort of ether, but I don't own any ether. And everything is frozen together. There we go. Wonderful. There's smoke coming out of the exhaust. Whoa. give it a little choke. So it's getting fuel because I can smell it and it's coming out of the exhaust. Just come on, baby. Wonderful. There we go. One more will do it. Nice.
Yeah, see? Perfect, right in half. First try. 'Cause it's straight. You see all the grain is straight. Beautiful.
Well, let's see if it's getting gas. So this is 10 millimeter, and I gotta get something for that gas to fit in. Let's take off the bowl here, and oh yeah, look at, that's aggravating because I did put the stable in here, but the fuel is all jelly. I don't have anything to clean that other than more gas. So easiest way to see if your float's working, hold it up. If it stops dripping, your float needle's working. Okay? But the problem is this stuff gets sucked up into the carb. So I don't know. I don't want to take this carburetor off right now. Maybe I'll run down and get some carburetor cleaner. I always get the red lights. I think it's down here.
Boy.
Parts cleaner, engine degreaser. Am I not seeing it here? Oh, right in front of me. Oh, dumb out. Carburetor and choke cleaner. All right. Oh, that's dry rotted. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a new one of those. I don't want to have to take this apart to clean out the jets. It's pretty disappointing that normally I don't put stable in this thing and it seems to be all right, but it's like the one time I actually took extra steps, you know. But we'll clean out this bowl here. Just kind of blast it out here. It's so cold out. I don't want to be doing this, you know. All right. I don't know why it won't fire off. I saw smoke come out of the, I mean, it's got oil. The oil is right up there. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the gas powered machine, because the temperature is dropping drastically, and poor Bryson, he's been out here for hours already. What would you say you've been out here for? A few hours?
A couple hours. I've done 4 wheelbarrow loads.
So he's done 4 wheelbarrow loads, and I've done 1. Well, I suppose the gas-powered splitter is faster. Maybe a tad faster, because if you get a piece of wood that is, the grain is not straight or the log is not straight,
And it's stringy and holds on like this.
the gas-powered splitter will actually go through and cut them. However, it will get stuck on the blade sometimes, and you have to pull it apart. But the axe has a lot harder time splitting this.
Yeah.
Now,
And it's stuff like this where it curves and it's all stringy there.
yep. So I would say that the gas-powered splitter is a tad bit faster. But what we've noticed is the axe operation that he has going with the sharp. He keeps them nice and sharp, and what he'll do is he will take the ones that are straight and not knotted, and he'll focus on those first, and then he'll leave me the knotted and the stringy ones, and I will do them with the gas one. Now, if you set it up correctly, or if you live somewhere where you have a lot of like straight trees,
Like firs.
yeah, like
in
you,
Canada, they have a lot of those really straight firs.
yeah, if you have wood like that, but I think hands down, from our experience with,
Yeah.
we've gotten some straight logs, the hand splitting is much faster, because all it takes is just your brute strength and you're just will to exercise, and you can just bang, bang, bang. And when they're frozen to the ground, like they are in this case, I still have to, with the gas splitter, I still have to take the hatchet or whatever and knock them loose, frozen, from being frozen. And
that took up most of the time today, was me just knocking them loose.
right. So you already have to have that in your hand. Now, the other thing that comes into factor is the maintenance on the splitter.
Yeah.
Okay, now, but every time I use this splitter, no matter how I store it, I've always stored it inside the storage box, storage container, but it doesn't matter. It's not heated. I've put fuel stabilizer in it. One time I left it outside with a tarp. It doesn't really matter how you store this thing. There's always maintenance to it. There's really no maintenance to your axe.
No, I just sharpen it, and then if it's a wood axe, depending on how much I'm beating on it that day, I have to redo the rope handle guard, and then I put epoxy over it, or glue.
Yeah.
But I've been using the Fiskars, and that polymer plastic, as thin as it is at the top,
It's never broke.
no, never. You can beat the hell out of that thing. It does not break. It's phenomenal.
And they stay really sharp, too.
Really sharp. You don't have to sharpen it as much. And
Right.
it sharpens faster. So I don't know if it's a softer metal or something.
I'm not really sure, but
It's faster to sharpen than my hickory trooper axe.
so this is the only maintenance that he will use
It's just a whetstone. Just
on
put a
his
little water.
Fisker. Once in a while, not that often,
No, not off.
he'll just take this and just take any little light burrs off, because if you're smacking wood, sometimes you miss and you hit the ground, and you hit a rock, or you chip it a little bit or something. So this is the only maintenance you need for the axe. You still need strength with
It's a great workout.
You still need strength with the gas powered splitter, because you're doing a lot of lifting. We found that you do less lifting when you're hand splitting, because sometimes, or most of the time,
I use the axe as a hook most of the time.
Yep.
Like you see me bending over a lot probably in this video because it's all frozen. I have to whack it and get it out of place. But like when the logs aren't frozen, you just take it with the end, do it at an angle, and use them as a hook.
Yep. Or with the gas splitter, you have to lift them. You always have to lift every single one. You have to lift it up to the table. So
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of bending over and using your back. But I noticed that one day him and I were out here with both of the I got a Fiskars too. We have like an axe collection.
We have like a dozen axes.
Yeah.
A lot.
But one day the two of us were out here, lined up a whole bunch of them on the ground and just whack, 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 whack. And we didn't do any lifting. The only lifting was when we put them in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would say gas is probably definitely a little faster overall.
Yeah.
But in the long run, slower because of the maintenance, as you could see.
And it's a pain working with those big gnarly logs, especially if you get it stuck on the blade. Then you got to take the axe and beat it off the blade.
I remember one time we were lifting one big one and we were pulling on it and we almost tipped over the splitter. So
yeah,
you know, it's.
I remember we were beating on the splitter's blade, trying to whack another log off of it because they get so stuck.
Yep.
You know?
Whereas the axe, you just take your hand and you just hit the handle of the axe or maul.
Yeah.
I think the technical term is actually maul.
Nah,
but
these are axes. The maul is the big heavy.
the
one.
big heavy one,
Yeah.
like the splitting one. But anyways, guys, as far as we're concerned, we like hand splitting.
Yeah.
Because here's another thing: when you're out here running this thing, and all you're doing is a lever back and forward, you're not moving. And like I said, the temperature is dropping. So I'm freezing cold right now, so we're gonna call that quits.
Yeah.
So in our personal...
I wasn't even cold while I was splitting, you know? As soon as we started doing this, I'm like, damn, come on.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it for us.
Yeah.
Anyways, catch you on the next one.